Hi, I'm Rochelle Ireland, and this is my channel Sneaky Bunny Sewing. This is my pattern review of the poppy dress by This Is Cashy, a pattern that I bought on Etsy a while back. I used a silk shantung and a corded lace overlay. It's important to note that there are no seam allowances on the pattern for this dress. I did make a muslin when I was doing this dress, and I did a size large for the bust, and I graded to a size extra large for the waist. I made everything a little bit bigger than I needed to. My bust size at the time was 92 inches and my waist size was 79 inches. So the size large was for a 94-inch bust, and the size extra large was for an 80-inch bust. So it was almost there, but I just kind of tweaked it in the muslin, and I only made a muslin of the top half of the dress, just the waistband and just this bodice and the straps. And that was all I needed to do to get it to fit. And because it was, a strap design with a sleeve coming out of it, it gives you this wonderful princessy sleeve without any of the fitting issues that I typically have with, a bodice that isn't strapped. Because a lot of my fitting issues tend to go away whenever I'm doing a strapped design, because I tend to have like a narrow back and a short torso, and it's just really easy to take up the straps and take out the extra fabric there than having to slash and spread and do all that. So I loved that. I also really loved that this pattern had a video tutorial, which I think I pretty much followed the video tutorial to construct my dress. I looked at the instructions again to see what they said, and there aren't a lot of instructions, but with the video tutorial, I just followed along that. That's what I did. She made hers with an overlay, but my construction is a bit different. I actually, hers was just one layer of shantung, or whatever she used for her lining, and then one layer of lace, and so she conserved quite a bit of fabric. What I did instead is I sort of like mounted the lace to a layer of shantung. So I didn't want my seam allowances showing through on this side, like through the lace. Like, I'm sure it doesn't really matter, but I just thought I'm going to do it this way because I had a preference. So I mounted the lace to the shantung, and then, just by like basting around the edges of the lace and the shantung and kind of mounting them together. And then after that, I just treat them as one piece. And then I constructed my lining as usual. So my lining is like all clean on the inside and all finished. The only part that isn't very finished, because it was a little tricky with all these cutouts, right? Going into this waistband. So what I ended up doing is just, I think I serged the edge of all the layers. So you have the lace, the first layer of shantung, and that's treated as one. And then your lining in the shantung as well. And I just kind of serged all those edges together and then installed my zipper, which actually makes it easier if you ever have to take it in a bit or move the zipper, or reinstall zipper. Say your zipper breaks and you need to put in a new zipper. It just makes it easier. So I just did it that way. So I went to put on my dress today to do my twirl. I put it on, and then I realized, because I'd lost a little bit of weight, that it was quite loose and baggy in these, cutout sections right here. It was all right in the waistband, but it was just loose here. So what I did was I just kind of pinched it and measured, and it was about a ½ inch, both sides, right? So you pinch it in, and you're actually taking a ½ inch from one side of the seam allowance and a ½ inch from the other, but you just pinch them together and treat it like the ½ inch. And I took in ½ inch here, ½ inch there, so 2 inches. And I just pinched it and then sewed it together, did my pins, took it in, and then I made like a little fold on the inside here and here. and then just hand stitched the fold kind of back into position so it won't flip out or be annoying on the inside of the dress. And that's all I did. And if, you know, if I ever gain a little bit of weight and need to let that back out, you know, that's good. I'm fine with that. I didn't need to do a lot of work to take it in, and it's easy to let out again if I ever need to do that. So yeah, that's what I did. My one, oh yeah, this is important to note. So I used this shantung. Let's see if we can show you. And it's really pretty. Let's see. And it's got this lovely sheen, but it's really like lightweight. It's like kind of crisp, and it's got like body. It just kind of like, it's not very heavy. It's a strange fabric, and I've never used it before. So I just made my underskirt, you know, without the ruffle, just like she did with her overlay. But mine is so lightweight, and just, it always wants to ride up. So when I first made it, I just hemmed it. And then it would kind of ride up as you wear it. It would just creep up, and you'd always be pulling it down, right? So then the next thing I tried, I thought, well, I got to do something with that hem to keep it from creeping up. So I applied some horsehair braid to the inside of the seam to see if I could get it to like kind of just sit where it's supposed to be and just stay down there instead of creeping up and up. And it still kind of does it. So I think what I might do is maybe get some little washers and just hand stitch. And maybe do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the midpoints, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. If I did 8 of them, 8 little washers all the way around, and just kind of weight the skirt so it doesn't want to like creep up and creep up. That was really different because I've never worked with silk shantung before. And that's what I always find, you know, like it's always a bit of an adventure. It was a dream to sew. It was very fun to sew. I think I used a Microtex needle just to prevent any sort of runs in the fabric from happening. But the weight of it is funny for a dress like this. So, and I just did a narrow hem. So maybe in the future I would do a deeper hem, but I might even then still be tempted to add little washers to just weight that hem, because it's so lightweight that it just doesn't want to hang nicely. So that's what I would do differently in the future with this fabric. But it's a lovely fabric. I really, really like the shantung. It's a dry clean only dress. With all the lace, I didn't want a chance throwing that in the washing machine. Yeah, I just really love this pattern. I love the little cutouts. They're just little, but they add a little bit of a modern feel to the dress. It definitely has princess vibes, like she said in her video tutorial. And I found this lovely hat that matches, you know, it's almost the same color. Yeah, and I just feel like it's kind of old-fashioned feeling, princess vibes, and then also a little bit of a sneaky, cheeky kind of modern edge to it too with those cutouts. And the cutouts are lovely because they just show like this little bit of skin here, but actually I find because they're there, I'm so much cooler in this dress because it just allows a lot more ventilation than my other dresses that don't have cutouts. And also the sleeves being like this really flowy lace, like barely there, but you know, puff sleeves. They keep me a lot cooler. And so, yeah, I'm just a huge fan of this design. I think it's genius. The gathered skirt makes it really easy to fit because you just gather everything in. And then the tier at the bottom makes it really easy to adjust for a shorter height. I'm quite petite. I'm only a 5 feet 3 inches. So I believe what I did is I just made the dress the normal size, and then I just made the tier at the bottom shorter to accommodate for my shorter stature. And that's all I did. It was like super easy. The skirt was super easy. A bit of gathering, a little bit time consuming. I think on I'm just looking at the inner construction. I just serged. I just took matching thread and I just serged all my edges on the inside of the underlay. And then what did I do on this? I just serged on the inner skirt pieces for the shantung as well. So, and then up here, it's all finished. It's all lined from the waistband up. And then the sleeves just fit into these straps. So there's no raw edges there. And it's just comfy elastic here. It's, this is probably the fanciest dress I've ever made. And I love it. I feel so elegant in this dress. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my experiences making this dress, and I hope you will give it a try. This is Cassie, is just a indie pattern maker on Etsy, and you can find her pattern there. And I'll put a link in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Happy sewing.